Hey, welcome back to Mr. Dunn's Ceramics Art Classroom. Today we're going to make coil pots. Let's get started. Alright, so there's basically two types of coil pots we can do in here. One is just straight coils that go around and around and around. We are going to be using red clay in class. You'll be using whatever you have at home if that's what you're doing at home. They can go out and get bigger, and this is how they make huge pots sometimes because it's too big to put on one of those spinning wheels, so they can coil it. The coils do get bigger, of course. But we're going to skip this project and go right to the more fun project. It's called the fancy coil, where you put all kinds of different shapes and it melds it all together when it glazes. Look at that. We have little round balls, we have swirls down here, and I can see that. There's a braided one. The glaze is kind of hiding it on this one. I have a better one here. Maybe this blue one you can see in there. See that? Swirl. They have a lot of like coils clay or some straight lines, so it's kind of like Van Gogh's sky if you painted these in a specific way. Somebody did a bigger one in the past. So we're going to want to put different kinds of coils on this pot. I think the rubric calls for 4 different kinds of coils. So we've got straight coils here, we've got an up and down coil, you can see right there going up and down. We've got those swirl ones you saw, and a straight one. Often we want to put a straight one on our last one to hold all these together. These are pretty fragile by themselves, sticking up, so that the single coil will hold it all together. And another key feature of this is blending the inside. So some of these you'll look and they'll be all smooth inside, but the outside has all that texture and all those designs, which is really cool and it makes it stronger. You come along and pick this up like that, it's too heavy and it breaks and falls off when it's just dried clay. Alright, let's get down the table and I'll show you how to make coils. So we're going to have to roll it out like you'd imagine making a bunch of snakes. But if you've really never done this before, you get what's called the flop. Let me see if I can try it. Kids will do this. And then it's all sunk down, folded together, and it's like in an oval shape. Boom, boom, boom. So to avoid this in the first place, do what I'm going to do now from the beginning, and it helps it come out much nicer. Twist it for number 1. So now it gets it rolling nicely. And 2, push from fingertip all the way to your palm. And one other trick I learned the other year, a couple years ago, is to roll it back with your fingers and only push it in one direction. And those 3 things alone will make it nice and round. Fingertip to palm. And you're looking for the thickest place. This is thickest here, I'll go down there. So we're trying to get a bunch of these from the size of my finger to my size of my thumb. Thumb's pretty big on me, right? That's about a pinky size right there. And that'll let you go all the way up to the big one that I showed you, right? The bigger and taller you get, the bigger coil you want. So this is the base. So the bigger I make this, the bigger my base is. If I want to stop right there and start coming up and sloping out, I'll have a pot that's, it's a little bit rickety on there, but it'll be in a small bottom. If you want to come straight up, then you got to come out as far as you want. Remember, the bigger you get, the bigger your pot's going to be, the more coils you need to make, the more work it is. So you can see the difference between a student who did this one and this one, right? This was a lot more work. This is smaller, still got, well, this one has 3 different kinds of coils in there. This one probably has all 4. Same with the big one, has 4 different kinds. So you need enough room. I would say don't get much smaller than that. That's in my hand. See that size? That last coil, you can gum in and hook it on really good. Now I'm going to put this on my mat. Okay, this is where you start making all kinds of coils. So again, twisting it. It rolls nicely, like a screwdriver there. Start going. Roll it back. Fingertip to palm, roll it back. fingertip to palm, roll it back. You get a rhythm going by the time you've done it, a bunch of them. Just when you get good at it, you'll be done. You can use this technique, this building technique in the future. So we know how to make pinch pots, pinching the clay. Now we know how to do coils. After this we'll do slab work, and then we'll do sculpture. Alright, about the same size as before. And I drag it, bring it in here. Oh, now we're going to talk about different kinds of coils. So I've done a round one. You may want to do those all the way around and do each kind. We may want to mix it up. Just for the sake of speed, we're going to try to get my 4 or 5 different kinds of coils on there all at once. Maybe like that. So then you make it like that. That'll count as a different kind of coil. So I know these swirls are popular. Okay. Score this here. Now, scoring the bottom here, don't forget to score where they connect to the one next to it. That's going to give it a lot more strength. Again, if you just shove it together for speed, you're asking for trouble. Later on, when you come back, it's a little drier. It's going to fall apart. This red clay dries really fairly fast and becomes crumbly. So you want to keep it soft. Alright, I'm going to push these together and then push these down, turn it. Alright, so we've got those basically 2 kinds of swirl coils. Now we're going to do one that's more long, a braiding or twisting. So you can braid the clay, you can twist 2 pieces together. So now, if you're going to bring 2 pieces together to braid or do something like that, those 2 pieces together need to equal one of these, right? Or really close to it. So that's, I'm going to fold this in half here, get an equal amount of clay. Now I can, roll these out individually and shrink it in half. So now, I'm just going to twist them. If you had a third one, even make them all even smaller, you could braid them together. Alright, but this is going to be fun. So you start in the middle here. I'm going to put a little bit of water just to help its stickiness. Okay. We're going to twist it up into a coil like this. You start in the middle. It will crack a little bit. The tighter you push it together, see? And you work in both directions. And you might have to flip these and get them pre-flipped. Pre-wrapped. Put them out here and then do some more. Because the tighter this is, the better it looks. Then you can come over and do one side at a time. Just keep spinning, let these dangle, spin them together. I don't know if you can see what's happening there. Keep it really tight. You don't want to just go like that, a loose spin like that. That breaks and falls apart so easy. This has much more surface touching each other. So it makes it a lot stronger. See, nice and tight. Let's do this over here. The water's making it sticky, huh? It's really tight. And if it seems loose, you can just come in here and tighten up areas and just keep twisting until it gets nice and tight like that. Isn't that cool? So, where can we put this one, huh? If we can get all the way around, that would look really cool. Yeah, it goes above and below these. I think I'll make the part that touches to be on the bottom. We might even have to cut some off. Cool. So that means we can scrape all this down here. But now we need to score this one. You know how I tapped these things to make a flat bottom? You could even go one down, a tap, roll that over. It's got a bunch of flat surfaces. We can have a grid, score, and get all that wet. Some sound effects, make it work better. Okay, let's I'm going to start right down here. So we got it like a double double row here and overlapped. Then chase any, get a wet finger, chase any cracks, because we were stressing the clay when we spun it. It's got a lot of cracks on it. Sometimes the best way to do that with a brush, wipe it, which will also prepare it for the next level. While you're making it, it will be drying out here. Alright, so we have two kinds of coils there. Three if you want to include that double one we made. Now, can we put down over in here that would be interesting? Let's do some little round balls. So, I'm going to try to cut these the same size. Rolling it until you get it round again. Okay, so you have a round ball. Now, to make it easier to blend and support on the inside, the technique I've learned is to make it more of a teardrop shape, like this, right? Or a raindrop and fall down. Now that part sticking out on the inside, you'll be able to bend down and blend to the inside. In a minute we're going to blend a lot of this, right? So let's start by scoring this thing up here. And stuff later. So the outside, got that little bump sticking out, little round ball texture. A lot like these. These are kind of protruding out pretty far. I want to avoid that, I think, on this one. Okay, got a ball, make it into a little teardrop shape. Too much. Back. And there we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little round kind of ball shape sticking out there. Okay, what else can we do? Test this out. What other shapes can you think of? Make a mess here. Alright, we're going to do this fun one here. This looks cool, but it can also be fragile if you don't make it tight enough, I think. That's where you go up and down. How high do we want it? We want to get up here. We'll go about like that. Back and forth. We can see like this. Then I can take that and I can kind of tap it down again to make that flat area in order to squeeze. Alright, you can reach to the inside here. You always have to support it so you can push against it. Now you can like blend up onto the new section we just put in there. You can blend across these. Any of this stuff you want to blend a little bit in there and make it stronger. A bit of water. So cleaning the inside could be tedious and take some time, reaching down in there with your little. I like this shape of a stick. It's rounded. It kind of mimics a finger tip. And you can just get a little wet and reach down in there and smooth things out. Okay. I think we're getting down to our last two things here. We're going to make straight coil. That counts as a different kind of coil, just straight snakes. And so focused on trying to do unique things. Okay, so we got a nice long coil. Here we go. We're going to score the top. So it's going to tie it all together, make it strong. And hopefully I'll make it more even. You see we're dipping down here and up. You see that? I don't know how your angle is. You can even score that lengthwise. And then the little water, wet finger, blend that down. If you don't connect that last piece on, it'll sometimes dry and stick up in the air when you come back the next day. Okay, line it up again, pat it down. Alright, I think we're still low here, so we're going to do another half a circle here, somewhere about there. You can, if you get pretty close, you can tap it upside down and really make the top be level. But I don't want to do that. Now you can see if you have any scoring that made marks on the outside, come around with a brush and pick at it and clean up any marks you see like in there. you have any really big holes you don't like, you can roll a little ball and shove it in there. So let's do that. I see one over here. You make a little round ball. There we go. I'm going to make it kind of pointy like we did before. And dip it in the water to make it stick. And I'm going to pick up this thing here. There we go. See the hole right there? I can shove that in there. It makes a little round button. And it clogs the hole and it looks cool. I can do one down there, maybe there. Yeah. And then I'm done. Alright. That's how you do it. Have a great time. Enjoy yourself. And I'll see you in the next video. Mr. Dunn out.